November 1st, it's fall and it's beautiful out. Leaves are changing. Well, they've been changing. Leaves on the ground. We are coming up on 1 year since I decided to break silence on social media and actually share some of my story and then my journey while I progress through. And it's very hard to do at some point. At some point you realize how trapped everyone is. I talked with my buddy the other night after I posted that response to veteran benefits under attack or whatever, and we kind of briefly talked on all the topics, and we disagreed on some of that stuff too. He served active duty longer than I have, or longer than I did, but I still think it's bullshit. You know, I still think non-combat veterans in a lot of roles have put their bodies on the line and deserve veteran compensation just as much as combat veterans do. And then I also come to the realization that the VA system is going to exist, it's going to run, and it's going to process new veterans accordingly, rated, unrated. And it's a system that runs much like the war machine that ran for 20 years in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's a system that's going to run, and at some point you realize they just want people to get processed, check in, and get GTFO. And let them conduct their business at some point, right? And that can be frustrating, but what's the point of all this? Again, like I said, I encourage people to tell their stories and tell your stories as much as you want to, or don't. I guess I owe one to the non-combat veterans as well. I mean, we're all in this together. So my buddy asked me, he said, when we were having our debate about, non-combat versus combat veterans anyways, and the whole system in general and where the faults are. And he asked me, he's like, do you know why the VA exists? And it occurred to me, I'm like, certain things you just don't think about, but it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, it exists to handle veterans affairs, right? It was created to take care of veterans and handle all the affairs of a veteran, right? Whether it's legal actions or, healthcare, a lot of healthcare stuff. And he asked me when it was created as well. I'm like, you know what? I really should do more research on it. But to my knowledge, from the things that were told to me when I went into the system, it was created either before or after Vietnam, but it wasn't a big system. It was a very small system and the beginning of the bigger system that we have today, which is the VA. I get emails from my daughter's school sometimes, and almost every day. And one of them stuck out recently was alarming social media trends going, within the schools. And I think one of it was to do with something origami or whatever. It was something dangerous, but it kind of brings into point the whole social media stuff we've been working on the last year, and what's appropriate, what is inappropriate, as if you're going to be posting stuff online. And it's always a debate, but it depends on your platform as well, community standards, and then also following the laws and the rules and all that stuff. But I just thought that was interesting. But much of my page is what to do and what not to do. All right, veterans. I get it. I'm not a saint. I messed up just as much as some do. And some people don't mess up. They get it. They're just like, I'm just going to live chill life, you know. They just get it, it clicks. They don't have a lot of the other things to deal with that others do, and it just happens, right? So I'm not trying to preach to people like I'm high and mighty or I haven't messed up. I've messed up plenty, trust me. I will say though, in my case, much like a lot of other veterans cases, it was meds, experimental meds, and meds that were being pushed on us that helped enable us to go down certain paths that were at times very unhealthy. So it's like, where's the fault? I mean, I always, no matter what, am going to be responsible when things go wrong. And the system is designed in a way to protect a lot of those in power. But also in my case, you see that I've also been spared and saved a lot through the same system that, allows others to continue on and carry on. So it's like we all end up in the same space or spot eventually. There is no one pill fits all or cures all. There's no one treatment that cures all. So that's kind of the frustrating thing, right? People, myself can say like, oh, it's their fault for prescribing me these meds. When like I said, it's systemic negligence that enabled me at different times for anything to really boil up to a boiling point. Now there's a stigma about talking to people in mental health and they're gonna take your guns away. They can, but it's very rare. And usually it's voluntarily, and then you get them back. I also realize why some people use the excuse to block our comms, which is fine. Like if we're on a secured server as veterans or whatever, it's different. I get that the public and the general public would be scared, right? That's why we're doing a lot of this stuff. It's very controversial. It's very touchy. The topics are it can be scary. Like, what are they doing in our communities with veterans and all this stuff? And what the fuck? Where's the money going and all this stuff? And so that's one excuse. Like, there's a few excuses why they were like blocking us. OPSEC and all that stuff. And it's frustrating, but you can get your messages out and just networking and oh man, so some of the tactics implemented to kind of control people on social media are the subtleties and subliminal stuff, and a lot of talk about, and then some of it's just to raise awareness about the potential possibilities of reality, like you're being live streamed on your device. So you're going off on a rant in your car, and little to your knowledge at the time, you're actually being live streamed to the whole world. It's a glitch in the software, and you just went viral all around the world, right? Stuff like that. So where were we when we started this journey, this hike? It's beautiful out, by the way. We're coming up on a year of my social media campaign to raise awareness about mental health and the dangers of psychological operations and systemic failures in the VA. So a lot of people don't know that the VA is. So how do I feel about my campaign, and is it measurable? Because on social media at times it feels like it's not getting out. People don't care. And how do I feel about that? I feel like there are people that watch my videos, you know, and it's just, it doesn't register on a larger scale like I had originally hoped or planned. And trying to go viral, you end up doing some really weird shit sometimes. Telling stories or telling your story or trying to do good things. So it can be embarrassing. And like I said, I've talked about it before. Some of the stuff on my page, it's embarrassing. But, or it can be embarrassing. And you look back and you say, part of the exercise is to let it be and just let it exist and not delete it. There's an instinct to like, I need to delete that shit right away. But part of what I've been working on with some people are just letting it sit and being okay with being awkward and embarrassed. I will punch through. I'll punch through this motherfucker. I swear to God, like, I will make the call. And the call, what call I have to make has been evolving all this time because people say, oh, so-and-so would have made the call. So-and-so would have made the call. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we're still here. So in true VA fashion, I guess, a year later, after I started this campaign, I'm gonna pop smoke and collect the money, all the money from this year's hard work, and probably take it easy next year. But at least I'm giving y'all a fair warning though, right? I'll miss y'all. I heard there's a podcaster that's gonna just destroy me. I'm kind of nervous about it. I don't know.